Alrighty, hello and welcome to the Rockies Now podcast, late night edition. We're a little bit later than normal. We apologize about that, but we wanted to make sure you guys were able to watch the Rockies game tonight. We're, as of recording, Rockies are up 3-2. Hopefully that stays the same, Tom, as we record the rest of tonight's episode. Hopefully for a better outcome than the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 days. But we're going to talk about all about it tonight here on the Rockies Now pod. Tom, how are you doing? I'm sorry about your White Sox because we were talking in the meeting before we started how it was a rough game for your White Sox today.
Yeah, it's a series sweep against the Tampa Bay Rays, but we're not here to talk about the doom and gloom of the South side at the moment. We're here to talk about the Colorado Rockies, and hopefully we can avoid a sweep tonight.
Hopefully. Yeah, I mean, can we talk about, again, we'll talk about it more in depth, but Chase Dollander, man, I mean, it's so good to see 9 strikeouts and such a, I mean, you're going against arguably the best offense in baseball, in hostile environment. And really, last year, I guess, was a kind of a full year because he was called up, I think at the end of the first week of the regular season, in the opening series against the Athletics. But yeah, no, he's been awesome this year, minus that first game against the Blue Jays where he surrendered like 3 or 4 home runs. But he's been awesome. But before we get to all the action tonight and talk about some Rockies news, Tom, why don't you give me that trivia question?
Sure. Okay. So last week, as I mentioned, we gave you and Chris a position player question. So today we're going to do a pitching question for you, Stephen.
Oh,
so
boy, I'm ready.
Okay. Okay. So this has to do with career totals, not single season. This is a career question. So think career for Rocky's career. All right. Can you give me the top 7 pitchers who have the most games started in Rockies history?
Okay, and that's career. So number 1, I'm going to go with Jorge De La Rosa.
Good guess, but he's actually tied for 3rd.
Okay.
So
I know. Okay. Marquez has got to be number 1. 100%.
He's actually tied for 3rd with Jorge De La Rosa. Wow. So you get the 2 third place.
Okay, I'm going to just throw out a name here. Ubaldo Jimenez.
Good guess, but he's actually number 9.
Okay, who is number 1? Is it is John Gray?
Good guess. He's number 7. So you got the number 7.
I'm getting there. I'm just I'm doing actually really. I just need to find like number 1, number 2. Kyle Freeland.
That's number 1. Bing, bing,
there we go. Ding ding. Okay, wait. Do we have a sound effect for that? I think we do somewhere. I think we. Where is that sound effect? Where is that?
The widget is it in the widget? No, it's not. Never mind.
It might be. Oh, you know what? We do have this though. Wait, do we have it? Let me see. Explosion. No, I don't want that. Let's do this. I found it. Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Anyway, so now you had, just to give you a recap, you have the 2 guys who are tied for 3rd. You have the 1st and the number 7 guy. So you're looking for the rest. So
okay. Is Sentitel on that list?
He is not actually. No, he's not in the top 10.
Okay. I already mentioned John Gray. Tyler Chatwood.
Good guess, but no, he's not in the top 10.
Okay. I already mentioned De La Rosa.
Think 2000s.
Okay, Jeff Francis.
That is number 5.
Nice.
Applause.
Yeah, let me add that. And then Jason Jennings is. I don't feel like he pitched that long, but is he on that list?
He's number 6.
Okay, wow, that high. That's insane. Okay,
Jason he has 156 career starts with the Rockies.
By the way, folks, for those who are diehard Rockies fans, he was the 2002 Rookie of the Year in the National League. Shoot.
So all you're missing is number 5 and number 2.
Who is number 2? Is it clearly obvious for number 2?
Kind of yes, and it's yes and no depending on your knowledge of Rockies history.
Okay, Freeland was number 1, right?
Yes.
Okay, number 2 has got to be somebody like in that range. Is it like a current guy that's still pitching, or is it long time retired?
No, you've guessed the 2 guys, like technically 3 guys that are currently still in the league.
I'm just gonna throw some more names out here. Aaron Cook.
Yes, it's number 2.
Let's go. Okay. And then
number 5.
Number 5. Okay. And again, is it a 2000 pitcher?
Think 2000s-ish. Yes, correct.
Okay. It's not Josh Fogg, is it? The Dragon Slayer.
Very good. A good guess, but no, he's not on there. No.
I thought I had that. Thought I had that.
Think reliable middle of the rotation pitcher.
It's Chad Bettis.
Another good guess, but no, he's not in
there. So it's a 2000s pitcher, it's not like a 2010s pitcher.
No, it's not a 90s guy. It's 2000s. It's this guy was a reliable middle of the rotation guy.
I'm kind of stumped, honestly. Again, I like mid 2000s. So was he on the 2017?
He was in the 2017. Yes, he was there.
Oh, okay.
He was there.
So I'm trying to think. I already did it. Balla, Jeff Francis, Josh Fogg. Who was another guy? Jeremy Affeldt wasn't a starter. He was a bullpen guy.
No.
Oh man, I'm blank. Guys, who is it? Like, am I just blanking here? Oh,
you want to phone a friend?
Yeah, Tom. I need to phone a friend. I'm phoning you. Who is it?
Do you give up?
Shoot, man, I feel like I'm this close.
You are dancing around it.
It's on the World Series 17, and it's just like I feel like I should know this, but it's just like there are pitchers. Number 5. I'm gonna probably kill myself for not knowing this.
Well, while you think, I'll do a quick recap. So Kyle Freeland is number 1 at 234 starts. Aaron Cook is number 2 at 206. German Marquez and Jorge De La Rosa are tied at 3rd with 200. Number 6 is Jason Jennings at 156. 7 is John Gray with 151. Because
this guy probably didn't pitch. It's not Franklin Morales.
No, it's not.
Okay, because I was like, he pitched in NLCS. I'm like, because I know Francis started game 1 of the World Series. Game 2 was, I think it was, who was game 2? Is that the guy? No, it was Ubaldo, game 2. And then game 3 was Aaron Cook. No, game 3 was Josh Fogg. Game 4 was Aaron Cook. So I'm like, who am I missing? It's that missing guy that was the 5th starter in the 2007 season.
You said his name already.
I did?
You said his name, but you got to say it as part of the answer. Come on.
Is it Aaron Cook? I thought I mentioned his name.
You already said Aaron Cook, but you said the guy's name you're looking for. You said
and I just no. Oh my goodness. So it's Josh Fogg. I already mentioned him.
You already said Josh Fogg.
Yeah. I literally just mentioned his name just like a seconds ago.
You said his name.
Oh my word. So it's Ubaldo.
You already said Ubaldo.
Oh, okay. Ubaldo. Francis already mentioned him. All right.
Yeah, Ubaldo is on the list. It's Jeff Francis.
Oh, Jeff Francis. I feel like I thought I already mentioned it, but it's Jeff Francis, number 5.
Jeff Francis is 5. He had 185 starts as a Rocky.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I got them all. Okay, it took a while, but I got them all. So
number 8 was Senzatella at 145. Number 9 was Ubaldo Jimenez at 137. And here is a real throwback one. Number 10 was Jarny Wright at 132.
Jarny Wright. What was that? That's got to be like late 90s, early 2000s.
I'm sorry,
right?
Jamie Wright. Excuse me, Jamie.
Oh, Jamie Wright. Okay,
I'm sorry,
Jamie Wright. But he was. Let me see. I think he was early 2000s, late 90s, right?
Jarny I can Wright. Look real fast.
That was around the time I was born, so
he pitched for the Rockies from 1996 to 2000 to 1990, 99, and he came back in 2004 and 5.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Yeah. We shall save a position player for next week.
Stay tuned, folks, for that. So yeah, Sarah's out tonight, but she'll be back next week. Hopefully, same thing with Chris. He has had a long day, but we'll be back. He'll be back next week as well, hopefully. So again, if you guys want to see more of this stuff, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also comment your thoughts on that.
What I should do is, I got an idea for the next time. See if I can come up with it we can come up with using camera for the trivia thing as like a ticker.
Yeah, I like that. Like, what we need, have like a little bit of a side ticker or StreamYard.
So people who are watching it can follow along a little easier.
Yeah. But anyways, let's jump into some news. Obviously, we want to keep this short and sweet for you all tonight, and enjoy hopefully a Rockies win in the next few moments. Tom, we have some news because it literally broke, I think, the day after we recorded last week. It was last Friday. I was scrolling on Twitter and I saw a post from Patrick Saunders of the Denver Post about Broncos ownership buying the Rockies. And I was kind of freaking out because this was completely unexpected. But Tom, Greg, and Kerry Penner of the Denver Broncos organization, obviously they are part owners with Mr. Walton himself. Again, it's not Mr. Walton completely. It's a co-ownership, if you want to call it that, of the Broncos. They announced that they were agreeing with the Rockies to take a 40% stake in the ownership as minority investors into the team. It was completely out of left field. However, I think a lot of us fans, a lot of fans in Denver, especially, were like, they were dreaming that one day the Walton family or the Cronkies could buy the Rockies, and we kind of saw it happen, even though it's not the full team, Tom, but it came through, and it's insane because I was talking on the other baseball pod today that I was with in Denver, but it's insane how the Penner Group, how they're already building a new stadium for the Broncos, and then they're building that new facility, and it's already underway, and I think it's close to completion. And then they're like, you know what? Let's take about half of the Rockies team. It's not quite half, but like a large portion of the Rockies team. And again, the Rockies are worth, I think, was it 1 point something billion dollars, if I'm not mistaken, a little over $1 billion. So it's not, and I think again, we posted it. It's something along the line. I think if you look at the numbers here, I'm trying to see if I can refine that. But a 40% minority stake in the Rockies for an estimated $672 million. So again, they have that money. It's Walmart money, Tom. So what were your thoughts on that? And like, were you surprised that, that was one of the, because again, we might have expected in the future for somebody to buy the Rockies, but not the Penners. Like, I didn't expect that.
Well, just to make sure educational for everybody, the Rockies are currently valued at $1.68 billion. So just for reference there. It did come as a shock because I didn't realize the Montforts were seeking new investors just at the moment, maybe a smaller minority investor, but it's the Waltons. So what can you say? Because not only do they own the Broncos, but of course they're the big power family behind the Walmart brand. So you said, why not have some Walmart money in the mix? And I can understand with Dick Monfort's age. Obviously he's well up there in age. He's getting toward, as he weans down toward his end of life. I'm sure the Rockies were, given, of course, that we're in a division with the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Diego Padres, who have been spending money like drunken sailors. It wouldn't help to have a little extra financial might behind it. The size of the shares doesn't surprise me at all because I know the Waltons are not going to enter into this deal without not half, but a sizable minority share, and 40% is quite a ownership stake in the team. So this does give a couple of things. One, as you and I talked about in the pre-show meeting, going into the CBA negotiation, it does change the Rocky stance on that they want a floor, not necessarily a salary cap anymore.
Yeah,
but I know what they're going to definitely. This is going to be, I think, the big topic of discussion because I think I am firmly in the camp that the salary cap is a non-starter for the players. It's not even really going to happen. But there is going to be a large debate over the amount of money that a team can defer at once. So, or the total amount a team can defer. Because the Dodgers, they have a lot of money deferred. Other teams have not nearly as much, but they have money deferred. So do I like this? Sure. I mean, again, but it does make me think a little bit as to when Dick Monfort does pass away, what are his sons going to do with the team? Are they going to sell all rights to the Waltons? Are they going to be just minority partners in the franchise? It's interesting to see how this develops over the years. But again, as like you said, we got Walmart money behind this now.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of people, and I think this was mentioned multiple times by multiple people, that generally when you see something like this happen in sports, not every single time, but generally that when this happens, especially like 40%, again, as our friends over at DNVR, Christian at DNVR said, imagine like a piece of pizza, right? In a box, right? 40% is about roughly half the pizza, maybe a little bit more than half, obviously, but 40% is still a large part of that pizza. And generally in sports, in time, the people that take a minority stake over time generally take over as majority owners. And I think a lot of people in Denver are predicting that will eventually happen. Now, again, it's not a given because, again, the Monforts, they love the organization. This is really their organization, right? They've been with the team since it was founded in 1993, right? I mean, Dick and Charlie were there from the beginning. They weren't obviously the owners, but they were a part of the organization, when it was founded. And so obviously, for them to no longer control the Rockies, there might be some bumpy waters ahead with the family and with the Penners. But this is no joke. I mean, the Penners are, as we know, Tom, they're very bold in what they do. I mean, look what they did with the Denver Broncos organization. They completely turned that around. No playoffs for at least 10 seasons, right? For 10 years out of the playoffs, one of the worst teams in the NFL. And look what they did in year 2 with Bo Nix and Sean Payton. One injury away from going to the Super Bowl. And so it just, they are bold, which makes it very exciting for us Rockies fans that and I mean, we're already in a good position, Tom, because we're going to be able to have so much more money. And now all of our outstanding debts are paid. And now the question is what's going to happen with Kris Bryant, which I think we already know it's already on the wall. I would not be surprised if it's already happened yet, but it's going to happen in the next few weeks and months that more likely Kris Bryant is no longer going to be on the team and he's probably going to retire. And by the way, I've been seeing clips of the podcast that him, Anthony Rizzo, and David Ross are on. What's the name of that podcast again? I want to do a quick shout out.
It's Lovable Reunion.
Yeah, shout out to that podcast. I saw clips of it and it's so cool because obviously that 2016 World Series was arguably the best ever. But anyways, yeah, Kris Bryant is more likely is a goner, which is going to be a positive for the Rockies. It sucks for Kris, and as a Kris Bryant guy myself, even though it has sucked to see him on the injured list and he has done nothing with this Rockies team or for this Rockies team. You do feel for Kris because ultimately he wanted better. But anyways, the Rockies are going to be able to have money, Tom, going into the offseason. I think that's one thing that a lot of people, not just in Denver, but in the sports world, is keep an eye on the Rockies in the offseason because now we're going to be able to have money to spend. But obviously, at the same time, though, Tom, you don't want to spend it foolishly because the Rockies, they've done a lot of that too. But I think with the front office in place now, we can now finally focus on getting the right players, developing the right people in the minor leagues. But really, that's the first step, Tom, is that's what Dee Podesta said was we need to get our minor league system first straightened out before we start getting free agents coming over here.
Because
ultimately, yeah.
Oh, no, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but again, it's just if you don't have a good farm system, you're not going to have a good team, period. It's just you need to have a good farm system, good depth before you really start going on free agents.
Especially given, I think the best way for us to build is through the system. So
yeah, well, especially pitchers. You're not going to get free agent starting pitchers except on these 1-year deals like with Lorenz and Sugano and Quintana. But historically, homegrown pitchers have been more successful than free agent starting pitchers. But anyways, that's a different podcast for another time. But Tom, this is great news for us Rockies fans because this is something that we've been wanting to have for a while. We weren't expecting it, especially not the Penners, but I think a lot of Rockies fans might not be looking at this as much as they should be because again, this is huge. This is historical. Again, this is the largest investment in Rockies history by a minority group. Again, 40% is almost close to fit. I mean, I heard somewhere it's at least 40%, and you would think that in time maybe that will grow. Because again, it's like the Penners are going to be giving a lot of money to the Rockies, and they don't want to be throwing it away for nothing. They want to make sure the Rockies use it wisely. Because if not, you're oh my goodness. I'm watching the game live. They almost hit a walk-off home run, but we got the win. Let's go. Oh my gosh. I was looking at my iPad. I looked over to my left. I'm like, dude, if that's in the Crawford boxes, I'm going to jump off a cliff. And this podcast will no longer exist. No, I'm just kidding.
Moniak really had to go back for that one.
Oh my goodness, I had a heart attack. But hey, guys, the losing streak is over. We did it. We did it. There you go. W's in the chat, everybody. Where's the? I'm gonna play it again. Where's the button? Where's the button? Trying to find.
You need to get your soundboard.
I know, right? Wait. Oh yeah, that's right. You have a soundboard now, right?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. There we go. I found it, guys. W's in the chat, everybody.
Golf clap.
If the Rockies would have lost, I would have used this button. for incorporating that. I love you guys. Shout out to StreamYard. But yeah, no, Tom, great news for the Rockies, and hopefully in the next couple of years we can start spending money and get Shohei Ohtani, right?
Or get someone like a Shohei Ohtani.
Who I know some people were not very happy with this guy for me mentioning him. What would be really cool to have in Denver? Kyle Schwarber.
Absolutely.
We were after him before Kris Bryant signed with us. The Rockies were in on Kris Bryant. That's who they originally wanted to sign. And then Mr. Good old Bill Schmidt was like, you know what? I know a buddy from San Diego State University. And that's Chris Bryant. I'm like, dude.
I wouldn't mind the beer leagues. I wouldn't mind the beer league softball player in Brooklyn.
I would not. The guy is a 50 home run average season type of guy. I mean, he rocked a home run when I was there on opening day, almost to the third deck, by the way. So just wanted to mention that. But anyways, good stuff. Good stuff. So let's talk about the Padres series, Tom. So I'm going to hand that off to you. I might have some comments, but why don't you take that away and share some stats, some thoughts on the Padres series in San Diego.
Well, just like, of course, the game today, Dollander had an opener. Today it was Mejia. For the game we're talking for opening game in the Padres series, it was Jimmy Harrogate, who was good. And again, Dollander had not a career high, but he had a high number. Is 9 his career high, or I don't think?
Yeah, I think it's his career high. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah. But he only had 3 strikeouts in this game against the Padres, but still, he went 4 1/3, gave up only 1 earned run. And the bummer, of course, this game went all the way to the 12th inning. We ended up losing, but again, the one thing, Brenton Doyle hit his first home run of the season, and the positive spin I'll look on this game is that, again, extra inning game, our bullpen was stretched a little bit more than we would have liked. But like I said, the key thing, again, I'm going to hark on this a little bit. The key is if we can see young pitchers emerge, it's good that we have the veteran pitchers that we signed, including Kyle Freeland. It's great to have him on the roster because he's been very good as of late to start. But if our young pitchers can really show they're either taking or ready to take the next step, I think that's going to be the critical part of it. So again, that's just me. Feel free to agree to disagree with me. So it is what it is. But
yeah, that first game, that was heartbreaking because it's really the first 2 games were like competitive. The Rockies were playing good baseball. The offense wasn't particularly great, but it wasn't horrible, and we had a chance to win it. Just, obviously that grand slam by Bogaerts was just deflating. It was just, oh man.
Moving on to game 2, I think one of those more deflating was game 2 loss because you had
Gavin Sheets
ripping the wall. I mean, again, Sugano, he had a quality start, 6 innings pitched with 2 earned runs, quality start, and then everything is just fine until the 9th inning when Mejia just threw. Again, he had a walk, gave up 2 more hits. And then just one of them was just bam, goodbye.
I feel like, again, Gavin Sheets, White Sox, right? White Sox legend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would say, correct.
White Sox legend. Yeah. Man, I feel like whenever we face, there's just certain guys like Christian Walker with the Astros, spent a lot of years. I mentioned it last time, I think, or it might've been on the Baseball Now pod, but it's just like, every single time we face Christian Walker is either a home run or he just destroys us. We posted it on our Instagram story. Go check it out. But Christian Walker has like insane career numbers against the Rockies.
I do got to give a shout out to Walker Buehler for that game too. He was good.
He looked like old Walker Buehler, despite the pitch count was kind of high, but still, like, he was amazing.
He took advantage. He's taken advantage of he had a minor league deal and he earned a roster spot. He's taking advantage of it. And then we moved to game 3. This one was just a punch to the gut because Ryan Feltner oh my goodness, he just had a bad game, a really bad game. And even though we had 3 home runs in this game, Moniak had 2 and he had a 3-hit game, it just wasn't enough. I do like it still, again, it was cool to see Lorenzen pitch an inning out of the bullpen. But the cool thing is, the great thing, Jimmy Harrogate, 1.13 ERA, and Bernardino, 1.42. So
yeah,
some of the relievers are really earning their time.
Yeah, I mean, Bernardino came over in a trade for who did we trade? Was it just for cash?
I believe it was just a cash consideration.
Yeah, but that trade looking great, and obviously a shout out. I know Patrick Saunders also tweeted this out, but TJ Rumfield, he's kind of been in a lull, I guess, here on the road. I mean, it's not, but he's still hitting like what's his number? Like, I think coming after tonight's game, 266, which is still not bad. And he did have
an RBI in this game. So
yeah, and in that game, and then of course we'll get to the Astro series in a little bit, but like he had a walk tonight, so it's just like Runfield, he's looking at a great trade. And listen, I know Chevy, wasn't he the guy that gave up the home run to Trout today? I need to look that up.
No, it wasn't him.
It was the different guy. Okay, but I know Angel Chevy, obviously went to the Yankees. Apparently somebody said that he was doing extremely well in the Yankees AAA. Like, he has a perfect ERA. So
I gotta say, real quick, shout out to Mike Trout, 5 home runs in 4 games.
Oh my goodness, it's so good to see.
I'm really rooting for the guy to turn his career around.
We are.
I'm really rooting for the guy.
I'm rooting for the Angels, even though I hate their owner, but it's just I'm rooting for the Angels.
You know, I mean, my opinion is people are saying trade, request a trade, demand a trade.
Yeah.
Well, let me put it to you this way. First and foremost, he knew what he was doing when he signed the deal, and plus, also, he's due $38 million over the next 4 years. The Angels are going to eat about 80% of that just to trade him. So I mean, it's again. Also, from Trout's perspective, he keeps his family in one place for a very long time. There is that factor when it comes to players making those decisions.
It's difficult. It's difficult, man. I mean, it's hard for everybody. I mean, for some players, they're just used to it, but you know.
But I will say there is something to be said for being an elite guy on a bad organization. Yeah, there really is.
I got to feel bad for Edwin Jackson though. Longtime Major League Baseball, all those teams. Like, was it 16?
I think it's 16 teams.
Poor family, but they got used to it though. I mean, they probably got used to it.
He did pitch for a very long time though.
And one of the remaining 14 teams he did not play for was the Rockies.
Correct.
He Rich did pitch Hill, for the White Sox legend too. Yeah, Rich Hill was another guy.
And Cubs. He pitched for both White Sox and Cubs.
Yeah, Rich Hill's another guy that pitched, I think, in every single National League team except like the Diamondbacks and Rockies, I think.
Diamondbacks is no. Rockies is a no. I think. I have to look.
Florida. He never pitched for the Marlins. I know that.
He did pitch for the Rays.
Yeah, for the Rays. Never for the Mets though.
No, and he did
Phillies,
pitch. No, Yankees. Did he pitch for the Yankees?
Actually, I don't think he pitched for any of the NL East teams. I don't think so. I think it was maybe I'm mixing it up with somebody else because Rich Hill, obviously, you know,
he did pitch for the Red Sox. That I do know.
He did, yeah. I feel like he pitched a lot for the American League, just not the National League.
We'll look that up. I'm gonna look that up and figure that out.
Yeah, we'll look that up. But yeah, just wanted to mention Edwin Jackson just because it's just this funny. Like 16 teams in his big league career. I feel like that guy literally went everywhere.
I would frame each one of those jerseys and put them on my wall in my house. If I were him, I would have all the jerseys of all the teams I play and put them in my house on a wall.
Decorate the wall. Yeah, it looked pretty though. Very colorful.
It would, because I know Todd Frazier in his house, he has a for all the teams he played for, he has like a neon sign for all of them.
Which is really, really cool. I mean, that's a dream house for everybody, every baseball fan.
He did play for both New York teams, and he was from New Jersey.
Yeah. Isn't again? We're getting off track here, but isn't he now part of like the Yes Network?
No, he works for Foul Territory.
Yeah, that's right. But like, I felt like I saw him on the Yes Network a while ago. Maybe it was for the Yankees home opener or something.
He might be a part-time guy for them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Because I know they let go of one of their on-air guys. I can't remember what his name is. Jack. I can't remember his last name.
Mm-hmm.
But real last comment I want to make about this game 3, is that the defense, in spite of the error that Kyle Karros made, we had some good defensive plays. Tyler Freeman had the opposite assist. There were 2 big double plays in this game. Defense is almost on point.
Yeah, you know, we've seen the errors pick up a little bit, but again, this is I don't want to knock on wood. Tom, have any wood? This has been a better defensive year for the Rockies compared to last year when Dick Monfort said that this had the possibility of being the best defensive team in Rockies history, and we were the worst. But you know, it's been awesome. I mean, you know, again, Tovar having a great defensive year. Maybe not the outfield wise, but I mean, Doyle's making some solid plays too. I mean, he made that really good catch at home. Forget what it might have been against the Astros, but Karros is making some plays at third base. Again, like I said, Tovar is. Even Willie Castro, I know he's been getting a lot of hate for his offensive performance, but defensively, Willie Castro is doing well too. You know, Johnston and Rumfield are playing good defense as well at first base. And Goodman too. He's improving a lot. And the ABS challenges, by the way, I think I saw a stat like they had, I don't know if you saw it, but somebody posted like the percentages that the Rockies have gotten correct in the ABS challenges. The Rockies I think they were in the middle of the pack. They were at like, was it 40%? I think
they're in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, they were roughly in the middle. It was like 40-something%, maybe close to 50. And then the team that had the highest, I think St. Louis was like number 2. And then number 1 was like, it might have been Cleveland. Again, if Tom's checking that up, I mean, it it was frustrating. I mean, again, the Padres, I felt like were coming in. They were having a really good start of the series, and I felt like they were just starting to get hot. And obviously, they're still scorching hot. And I think are they winning tonight? I need to check. I'm checking that right now, actually. Yeah, Tom, they won again. They're 13-6. They were 6-6 against us, so they've won 7 straight games. So the Padres are on a roll right now. Insane.
The Rockies are now at 39% won.
Yeah, they got a couple of challenges wrong, or at least one incorrect tonight. But
the team with the lowest at 25% is the Braves.
Oof.
And the Reds have 69%.
Are they the highest, or is it Cleveland?
No, the Reds are highest.
Okay, and the number 2 is St. Louis, right? It was St. Louis.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I knew St. Louis was number 2. I saw the graph, but yeah, dude, it's insane to see how many. Again, we're gonna go off the trail here. It's insane to see how many like really bad calls umpires have made this year, and it's just like, what are they looking at?
It's just a challenge in its infancy stages, which I think is gonna have a big impact.
Which I'm loving. And again, just to kind of give you guys a quick check, I'm loving the ABS system. I love it. Tom, what do you think? Do you like it? I'm a big fan of it.
I love it. It's not delaying the game that much, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. Yeah, exactly. It's not delaying that game maybe for like 3-4 seconds. It's not that much. Last year might have been like, I think this year, again, to be in the first year in baseball in the regular season, I think it's doing a great job. So obviously, I think we're starting to realize that pitchers shouldn't be challenging, should be the catcher. Or the hitter. The pitchers should not be challenging.
But there also should be a strategy about when you challenge, because you always want to have at least one in your back pocket when you go into the later
especially inning. Or like late in the inning, like a 9th inning or something like that. Always do that. You don't want to do it in the first inning, which the Rockies have done a couple times, and I think they did one not too long ago. I'm like, why are you challenging the first inning?
You need to have a coaches and player and catcher pitcher meeting about this. What is our strategy going to be?
Yes. And it's cool. It brings strategy in the game, because, baseball should be, I mean, it already is, but baseball's a strategy sport. Not only when you're a hitter, trying to find out what the pitcher is going to pitch. It's more about also, am I going to use this challenge or not, or what? But it is kind of funny. I think, was it you that like mentioned this the other day that was it Jordan Beck or whoever? It was in San Diego, and one of them tapped their head, but the umpire didn't see it, and it was called a strikeout.
I think it was Chris who said it.
Oh yeah, it was Chris. Yeah, but like, so one of the it was either Jordan Beck or somebody. It might be, or Troy Rumfield or not Troy Rumfield, Troy Johnston and TJ Rumfield. One of those guys challenged, but the umpire didn't see it. He was in the motion of striking out. And he's like, I challenged, and I think they called him out. But it was
because he turned away and everything.
Yeah, he didn't see it, and so I'm like, and after 2 seconds, we can't challenge. It's too late. So it's just like, oh come on. So
well, also one last thing is it holds umpires accountable. And yes, CB Buckner, I'm looking at you. Well, he's been horrible. He's always been my number 2 worst umpire behind Angel Hernandez. Now the Angel's gone, CB, we're all watching you.
Who's the number 3 guy? Laz Diaz?
Oh, for me,
he's got to be up there.
Laz Diaz is in there. I've always had a problem. I've kind of had a bit of a problem with Marvin Hudson a little bit. He's always kind of been too much of a guy seems like he's seeking trouble, but Laz Diaz is in the top 5. So
yeah,
I have to I have to go through that. But number 1 and 2 have always been Angel Hernandez and CB Buckner, always.
Mm-hmm. Did we get to game 4 of the Padres series?
No, I can get to that real quick right now. Of course, that was the problem. And when Kyle Freeland got hurt in the first inning, we were in big trouble. It's just
bullpen game again.
I'm not blaming Kyle Freeland. It's just freak injuries happen. It's just an injury like that could not have come at worse time, especially since he's been on point lately. He's been very good. Again, his ERA sits at 2.3 right now. He's doing very good.
Yeah, using that knuckle curve like Chris was mentioning about last week. Yeah,
just swoop it across, swoop it.
Needs to be pitching that more.
And again, Herget, Dollander. Again, Herget should not have gotten a loss in this game, but he did. Yeah. Herget, Dollander, Bernardino, even Vodnik. He's down to 2.57 at this point. I actually think it's lower after tonight. But again, offense couldn't get it going. But again, also here's a big thing: defense. We have 4 double plays in this game. 4. So we were getting ground balls and making the plays, which is, again, like as you pointed out, defense has got to be shored up, especially with we don't have a ton of big time strikeout pitchers in our pitching staff. So
yeah, I mean, again, you already look at Sugano, who's a heavy, ground ball, even fly out guy. He's a lot of fly balls. Lorenzen, he's been struggling a lot, so it's just he's not getting the strikeouts that I thought he was going to get. And then, however, Lorenzen's never been a huge strikeout guy either. No. Even in his career, he's had some good seasons with Cincinnati, so, and with the Royals last year too. So,
All-star.
Yeah. And then another guy, it's Quintana, same thing. He's never been a huge strikeout guy. However, I would say probably he had a lot of strikeout, or maybe not a lot, but he would strike out more guys than Sugano and Lorenzen did when he was younger. It's crazy. Go back to look at his 2017 WBC highlights when he played for Colombia. Man, he was so good. He had that no hitter, I think, in going to the 7th or 8th inning against Team USA.
I think it was 7th inning.
Yeah, but man, it's just like we could use a Quintana like that. But again, Quintana, he hasn't been, again, he just came back from injury. So it's just like you can't really blame him. I thought obviously his command has been a huge issue. He had 3 walks in that first inning, which is a big no-no, which is something that we cannot do. But yeah, it's just when Freeland was announced that he was going to be taken out of the game, it was just like, it was like a balloon. The air just got sucked out of the balloon for the Rockies.
I wasn't watching the game when I got the update. I thought, oh no.
Yeah. I'm like, please, and fortunately it doesn't sound serious, but again, it's going to be like another week, at least a week before we see Freeland back in action.
Well, after we talk the Astros series, we're coming home. So
yeah. And why don't we talk right into that? So game 1 obviously had a great start. We had 3-0 start. Hunter Goodman hit a home run. So it's just like, here we go. I mean, you're going against an Astros team that their pitching has been arguably the worst in baseball, or definitely one of the worst. Obviously, not having Hunter Brown, we'll mention that. Not having Framber Valdez there as well. Or is he off the team? Is he in Detroit?
Oh, Detroit.
That's right. I was thinking. And then, but who's the other guy? Javier. Javier is out. Obviously, he left in game 3 of the series back in Denver in the first, I think it was the first inning. And then there's another guy that's not pitching. And he's also hurt. So it's really been, it's funny, Tom, but it's like, I think every single game that the Rockies have played the Astros have been bullpen games. And so it's just like their rotation is decimated, but they have some decent arms that really carried them. But again, it's just like that offense really for the Astros has been really helping them stay afloat. But again, losing tonight to the Rockies, which is good for us, obviously, they moved to 8-12. But if you look at game 1, if the Rockies win that, which they didn't, unfortunately, and they lost that game 7-6, you're looking at a team that could be 7-13, right? Roughly. So it's just they were able to get the first win there. Hats off to the Rockies offense in game 1. Obviously, you don't like those 6-run inning by the Astros there. Obviously, that was really, really tough for Lorenzen. That's the issue, this year for Lorenzen. He's had those big innings. And then the Rockies pitching is fine for the rest of the game. They were great. The bullpen was awesome. Senzel was great in game 1. It's so good to see Senzel do that, have success in the bullpen. I think that was the right move, obviously. Something wasn't working in the rotation. But yeah, no, the offense for the Rockies I thought was great. But again, Christian Walker, Yordan Alvarez, they were great in that game, which really helped the Astros win game 1. Yeah, Lorenzen got the loss in that game. No big surprise there. But the Rockies, they were close. I mean, the Rockies almost came back and tied it if you were watching the game on Tuesday night in game 1, but it wasn't enough. And then game 2 against Spencer Arrighetti, he's had a great year so far. Again, this was his first start of the season. He was starting a little bit last year for the Astros. He had a great game. Jose Quintana had a rough start in those first few innings, and then he was taken out in the 4th inning, and the bullpen for the Rockies, again, did their job, Tom. They were incredible, kept the Rockies in the game. It's just the Rockies, you can't win when you only score 3 hits and 1 run, and then you strike out, 13 times, right? I think it was 13 times. I'm looking at the box score right now, but
it was actually 15 times.
Oof. Yeah, you can't win like that.
They may have gotten 5 walks, but when you strike out 15 times, the odds are not in your favor.
Yeah, I mean, again, we'll talk about game 3 right after this, but like it's just like I like the walks. At least the Rockies are walking more than they did last year, because last year we couldn't get any walks. We were swinging at everything. But yeah, 15 strikeouts, you can't do that. I mean, we won against the Phillies when we struck out 17 times, but you still can't expect to. Or no, was it the Phillies or the Astros in game one? I'm trying to remember.
I think it was Phillies.
Might have been Philly, and it was like on Easter, I think, or something. But
well,
yeah, it was.
When you say 17 strikeouts against us, I remember the 2019 game of Fenway against Chris Sale. That always pops into my head.
And I'll never forget how Mark Reynolds was the guy that helped the Rockies get the lead in the extra innings. I'll never forget that. I remember watching that game, but yeah, it's just you can't do that, man. I mean, 3 strikeout night for Hunter Goodman, 2 strikeouts for Julian and Moniak. And then everybody else pretty much struck out only once. But yeah, I mean, Moniak got a double. That was actually his first double of the year. I think Castro got a RBI, that RBI double as well. That was early on in the game, and that was the only score. But yeah, it was frustrating because the Rockies, Tom, again, I feel like the majority of the season, minus maybe a couple games like that, one of the games against the Padres, the Rockies, that they've stayed in every single game this year, which is a positive. But what's so frustrating is that the Rockies offense, when they've had opportunities, as we start talking about game 3 today, the Rockies will have these opportunities to where the bases are loaded and they have an incredible opportunity, nobody out, and we either don't score any runs or we score 1 run and it's on a sac fly or whatever. It's just like we need to have better at bats, which I feel like we are, but it's either hit at the wrong person or hit exactly right at somebody. It's just like we can't be doing that, or we'll take awful swings, which will happen now and then between either Hunter Goodman or Tovar. But it's just we've been seeing that. But hey, this is a Rockies team that I feel like is better than it was last year's team. But still, there are issues that we need to fill on this team. I'm not saying roster positions. It's just that there are things that we need to still work on. That's obviously the strikeouts, clearly.
The one thing I'll add is about, of course, losing close games and not being able to come through in clutch situations. As these young hitters get older and more experienced, understand the one key thing: don't try to do too much, because when you do that, you're gonna fail, or you're gonna just get over anxious and you end up not rising to the occasion. So with experience, and these guys get more experience at the big league level, especially against some ridiculous arms that we have at the big leagues, they'll get better. So again, it's a process. It's a trial and error, failure, growth process. Kind of, as I like to say, baseball is a game of failure, and you learn more from failure than you do success.
Yeah, and I do want to mention this guy. Again, great night for Chase Dollander as we start talking about Game 3. Man, coming into looks like coming in. I'm looking at the Astros stats. I need to switch over. Coming into actually at the end of the first inning. Mejia was only only able to get 2 outs in that first inning. Did not look sharp. He did get a couple strikeouts, but Mejia's been struggling a little bit this year. Has a 7 ERA. But hats off to Chase Dollander, man. I mean, 5 1/3, 9 strikeouts, only 2 walks, only 1 hit allowed, Tom. 1 hit. And the Rockies only allowed 5 hits against one of the best offenses in baseball, if not the best. A great comeback win tonight for the Rockies, despite how close it was there at the end. Almost them getting a walk-off or scraping the wall, the Crawford boxes. But you got to love what you saw from Chase Dollander tonight. And then Jaden Hill did his job. Victor Vodnik, Jimmy Herget, he's been incredible. 1.80 ERA. But I feel like, again, I'm looking at Jaden Hill. Like last year, we remember how bad he struggled, right, Tom? Jaden Hill has a 1.17 ERA.
Not to mention tonight was his second hold. He walked 2 guys, but he held it. So good.
And one thing that I've been kind of disappointed, Tom, is that we haven't seen the Joker glove from Mr. Hill. We need to see that, because you've been preaching about that. We need to see that.
We need to send him. We need to somehow reach out to him if we can and say, no Joker glove, baby. Do you have it just sitting in your locker somewhere?
We need to see that.
That was really cool, especially with it being the Heath Ledger Joker.
Yes. Yeah. And so, but yeah, combined tonight, Rockies struck out 13. Like the Rockies pitchers struck out 13 hitters tonight, which is awesome. And however, the walks, 6 walks, don't like that. But again, they were kind of spread out. They weren't by one single pitcher. They were spread out. Dollander 2 walks.
We did navigate through that, though. That's good.
We did. And again, we got the outs when we needed to. A couple good defensive plays tonight as well. One of them was Moniak made a great catch in left field tonight. I think I forgot to mention, last night, Tyler Freeman made a great diving play at second base last night. After I think Julian was taken out of the game. Or no, it was Castro. And they switched. But yeah, no, tonight, good night for Tyler Freeman. Again, 3 for 5 with an RBI. Looks like he Yeah, got on base tonight a few times. Again, he's hitting 300 on the year. OPS of almost 700, 682. Let me see here. Hunter Goodman got another home run. And again, I was talking to Tom. It's kind of funny how I put him on our thumbnail here on YouTube, and I was going to talk about how he falling off, and yet tonight he has a good night, and he now has 5 home runs on the season, and his batting average isn't too shabby either. I mean, it's not great, but it's 258. His OPS is 853, so it's just like,
that's
you know what?
good.
Maybe do some clickbait, some clickbait.
Well,
tonight.
maybe you kind of helped turn the fortunes.
I did. You're welcome, Rockies fans. I am the reason why we won tonight.
Also, I think it's good. We got to give a shout out to Bretton Doyle. 2 hits, a walk, and he also scored a run, and he had 2 stolen bases tonight. So
we're seeing that batting average starting to climb back up.
Everything's climbing. And again, like I said, you pointed out, because McCarthy also had a stolen base last night. He has 5 on the season. But if our speed guys get on the base and they got the pitcher's move, just go.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen a couple times, several times actually. I think it happened tonight too. We'll see the catcher or the pitcher step off, or either the catcher, in the transition trying to get the glove to the hand, they'll drop it because why? They're just so pressured because of the speed the Rockies have. Do that. Keep doing that.
Or they forget to pay attention to the runner.
Put the pressure on the opponent, right? Troy Johnson got another hit. Our guy, he's hitting 294 with the OPS of 828 now in the year.
Also, one more quick comment to Dollander's performance. We talked about this in the show meeting, but he came into quite a situation again. He came in with 2 outs in the first inning, and 5 1/3. He gutted through again the 2 walks, but 9 strikeouts and only 1 hit. We got to give him a clap there for that one. This is a great performance by him.
Absolutely. Let me.
There you go, Chase, the pride of University of Tennessee.
Tennessee, brother. Let's go. Yeah, it's so good to see. Again, I'm curious to see what his road ERA now is at. Again, we'll kind of look that up.
He's 3.32 overall, so
that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Shout out to Chase, man. He was phenomenal. Again, was it in the 6th inning when he was in that jam, and Leishman and I think Warren Schaefer also came out and just kind of calm him down. He was able to get the out with the strikeout. That was huge. His 9th strikeout, and then
the fact that he was able to finish the inning was the key.
Yeah. And then again, great job by Jaden Hill, Jimmy Herget, and then Vodnik slamming the door. Did surrender that walk, but our guys in the bullpen are doing their job, Tom, and we're seeing the Rockies walk away here. Fortunately, not a sweep. But they do go 1-6 on the road trip, which could have been better. I feel like the Rockies definitely could have gone like 2-4 or 3-3, but we'll take it. But
just learn from it and move on.
Yeah, just wash the series away. You're coming home to Coors Field to play the Los Angeles Dodgers for a 4-game series. That should be an interesting one. But hey, I'll honestly
let's fight.
Yeah, let's fight. And here's the thing: I looked at some of the records from this year into last year. You want to hear this, Tom? The Rockies, they didn't get their 7th win until they had 33 losses last year. That's how bad it was.
I tried
33 losses.
I know you and I and anybody who's listening to our voices and out there is trying to think about it, but the way you look at it, it's progress.
It's progress. I mean, we're 7-12, 7-12. Yeah. 12. I mean, that sounds a lot better than it was last year. 7-33. Let that sink in. That's how bad we were last year. Just so the incompetence. And by the way, the Rockies were 7-33, and I think that was the exact day when the Rockies fired Bud Black.
The day after.
Or the day after, right? And again, they weren't great either. And it's not Warren Schaefer's fault, but for the several games after, we kept on losing.
It's just crazy. It took us that long to say, okay.
First series win didn't happen until the first week of June.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, it's over. It's over, Rockies fans. It's over. So
it's in the past. We just try not to remember too often.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's the Astro series. But I do want to mention, Tom, how about that catch by Jordan Beck in the Padres series that robbed Nick Castellanos? I mean, that was probably one of the greatest catches I've seen in a very long time. Probably one of the best home run robbery catches by a Rockies outfielder since maybe Randall Grichuk in Texas, if you remember that, and was in 2022 when he robbed the home run from Corey Seager on the road. That was pretty darn good. Jordan Beck's catch almost looked as better as Brandon Barnes in there. You remember in 2015, 2016 when he robbed Will Myers or whoever it was?
I think that was 15.
Yeah, and Adam Ottavino was pitching, but Brandon Barnes robbed a home run. I remember he was barking at a fan. It was really, really cool. But it kind of reminded me of that. But I got to say, Jordan Beck was almost even better because you had more fans in the stands. It was more louder. And obviously the fans are not going to help you in San Diego. But that catch by by Beck was just incredible. It was awesome.
Well, the good thing is there was one guy in the second one who looked like he was going to reach for it, but the lady who was in the front there, she kind of got out of the way, so it gave him a clear way to go for the ball. But at the same time, I think it was even cooler because he goes up, he catches it, and he does a little spin move there, and then he goes, yeah. So I think, it's as of right now, it's a candidate for catch of the year.
Definitely, 100%. That will definitely be on the highlight reel. I think, well, for sure for the Rockies, maybe for Major League Baseball at the end of the year, but that was huge. Even though ultimately, the Rockies still lost that game, but still,
it'll be on our end of the year for this season. It'll be on our defensive highlight reel for the season and YouTube
for sure.
Yeah, I'll be sure to add it.
Yeah. Well, one of the things, it's just like I was hoping, because I was at work when that happened and I wasn't able to post the highlights. So, but again, maybe at the end of the year
I guess we'll talk about this real quick. Content idea. We can vote for what our followers think is the best defensive play of the season.
Why not do that? Yeah,
there's more to come. More to come.
Yeah, more to come. I mean, last year we were able to do. I don't know if we did last year. We might have done. I know we did it the year before where we did top 5 moments of the season. Obviously, last year there was really only one moment that was great, and that was the toy walk-off. So it's just like we're not gonna go through like the entire season of the Rockies trying to pick out the best moment. But
remember a big moment that people commented on was firing Bud Black.
Yeah. That's not a bad one.
Sorry, Bud. I don't mean to be mean.
He's now working with the Padres, by the way, in their front office.
That's where he got his first managerial job.
It was so hard to see German Marquez, though, in a Padres uniform. I felt bad for him. I mean, the Rockies, they were able to torch him in the first few innings, but it's weird seeing him in a Padres uniform. It's like, that's not right. I'm happy for German.
It's like it'd be kind of similar to seeing Kyle Freeland pitch in another uniform or seeing Todd Helton in another uniform. It would just
it was the same thing with John Gray. It's just like when he was wearing a Texas uniform, it just like it just looks weird. It doesn't look right. But yeah.
Or what about real quick? Can I add, or maybe Arenado in a Cardinals uniform? But what about you seeing Trevor Story in a Red Sox uniform?
Yeah, that too. I mean, it still looks weird. I don't know why. Just he did hit a home run the other day, Tom.
Yeah, he did. And plus also, I don't know if you noticed this, he and Arenado had a kind of unique thing with their cleats and their batting gloves. They would have a different accent color. He's still using the teal blue.
Yeah, Arenado's still doing that. And Arenado also had a 2-homer game the other night for Arizona. So
he's saying, come on. It's basically him saying,
give me attention.
Come on, he's telling his Diamondbacks teammates, like, let's go here. Come on, let's go.
Come on, let's go. I mean, the Diamondbacks aren't playing that bad. They're playing pretty decent.
Well, a joke that again, this is just being like thinking back to an old baseball movie. Teammates putting the veteran by his locker a walker. So I'm wondering if they did that to Nolan Arenado. Sorry, Nolan. I'm not sure. I'm wondering if the young guys played that prank on you. Like, hey, come on, Grandpa, let's go.
Yeah. Well, here's an idea we can do, Tom, because I know you've been doing it on your White Sox Now page, but like instead of doing like the entire series highlights, we could do like play of the series or something like that.
Sure, I can do that.
But yeah, we could do that for Jordan Beck and then just post it on YouTube. We'll maybe do that. So
or highlights for a series of a couple of series the week.
Yeah, yeah. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for our YouTube. We posted our 100 Goodman episode. It looks like it's almost at 200 views already. So that's awesome.
Keep viewing it, people. And guess what? There's going to be there. Hopefully, he's another All-Star, back-to-back All-Star year. So.
Yeah, and again, we'll have his highlights at the end of this year. So again,
it will come earlier than last year. So
yeah, because it was a more of a later idea. It was more, I think, until like Christmas time when we were coming up with an idea, and then we just
also had to figure out how to properly cut the video up and everything.
Yeah, right. It took a while, but especially 100 Goodmans, it was like 16. It's a 16-minute video or whatever it is, or 13-minute.
That's a lot of home runs to crowd. He might hit more. He might hit more this year. You never know.
Yeah, shout out to Tom for editing that video. I mean, I'm not that type of person. I'm more of a social media guy. But anyways,
that's why we have a whole team.
Yeah, over here at Rockies Now. And by the way, like I know our guys over at Broncos Zone, they did their podcast the other day. They wanted us to see what we thought about the Penner move. And honestly, to answer or to let you guys know over there, Broncos Zone, to you, Zach, and everybody else. I mean, we're pumped, but go follow us at Broncos Zone. We're super excited about that. We're just starting that up, and then just yesterday we had our first Eyes on Apps podcast. Cam and the crew did a great job, and we're excited about that. And EPS, as you can see, we're down at the bottom of your screen there, or on the bottom right corner. We're growing, and we're super excited about it. And in Denver sports, a lot of big fun stuff coming up. Obviously, Saturday's our first game for the Nuggets. They're playing the Timberwolves. This is it, Tom. We got to win. We got to win it this year. I feel like it's kind of like that window is starting to shut for Jokic and the Nuggets. So it's just, I mean, I'm not too worried about Jokic retiring next year, but it's just got to win one before he retires.
Maybe just like the last time when they won, we'll get another repeat moment of win is parade.
And then at the parade, obviously, I'm not going to say the word, but at the parade, he was like, I didn't want to come to the parade, but I effing love the parade. I want to be here. It's just like, it was so awesome. I was watching that video the other day. It's just like, that guy, he is so special, man. It's like, it's unbelievable how much hate he gets. And yet it's just like how good of a player he is and how much he loves the game. That's why he plays.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying how much he loves to play the game. I mean, it's crazy to think that people says that he doesn't deserve the MVP or he doesn't like the basketball. And then why is he in the NBA then? Like, I mean, he's playing it for a reason,
Well, the thing about him is when I look at basketball nowadays, remember, back years ago when you had the big man like Shaq, Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, Hakeem Olajuwon, etc. I can go on for hours about the big man. He's like he's kind of that breed of big men, a guy who can play in the paint and also score. So I like him as a player. He's got a diverse set as a big man.
Yeah, as our guys over at Nothing But Nugs, I know they've talked about it, but I think easily Nikola Jokic will end up being arguably one of the greatest centers of all time.
Do you 100%. Think the Nuggets would retire his number?
Oh, 100%. I think so. I mean, Carmelo Anthony, I grew up loving him. Obviously, the relationship between him and the team didn't end up being that great when he went over to the Knicks. But I could see them maybe retiring both numbers. Like they might. I don't know how it's going to work, but they could retire both Carmelos and Jokic's together. I don't know if that was going to work, because I mean, do I think Melo deserves? I think he does. I think in some aspects, while the relationship was not great at all, I think in some ways Melo kind of regrets. I'm sure maybe the Nuggets do too. It was a bad situation, a bad time. Again, Melo was the guy in Denver. I mean, it was just like he was so good, and then just the relationship just ruined it and just ruined the culture. And I mean, people can talk about how bad it was, but it's just that guy. He played extremely well. I mean, he was one of the reasons why we went to the Western Conference, WCB or WCF finals in 2009. I remember watching against the Lakers, Kobe Bryant, and Gasol and everything. It's just those Nuggets teams were great, man. So it's just, I feel like in some aspects, I think Melo does deserve his number to get retired. So 100%, Jokic is 100% getting his jersey retired. There's no reason why he wouldn't be. I mean, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame in the NBA, but
I would think he would get that honor, just not right away, probably down the road somewhere.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, this is a question again. We got to wrap this up, but do you think he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Fame? I feel like he should.
I wouldn't unanimous no, first ballot sure.
Yeah, because I agree with you, because there's going to be those writers out there kind of like in baseball. Well, he wasn't nice to the media, or either he was more interested in his horses than he was. It's just like, guys, come on. But it's just the PR.
Well, at least the thing is, like, people, the writers are just unpredictable sometimes. Yeah. It's whatever.
Yeah. But anyways, we have better days ahead for the Rockies.
If I was a voter, I would vote solely on career achievements.
Yeah. Sorry. I mean, again, Jokic, that's why I don't cover the Nuggets over at Nothing But Nuggets. It's 2 MVPs, right? Yeah.
Yes.
2 MVP. He should have been won a third last year. SGA, no offense, but SGA does not deserve an MVP. This year, though, how about Wembanyama for the Spurs? My goodness, that guy is insane.
Now there was actually something. Hold on, it is 3. It's actually 3-time MVP. Excuse me.
Oh, 3. Okay, so he hasn't won 3. Again, where are Nuggets fans out? Come on, man, where are you guys in the chat?
But there was actually something somebody put out something on Instagram from all the number 1 overall picks from 2020 to 2025. Who is the best in each sport. For me, it's easily Paul Skeens by a long shot. There's really no close second for the last 5-6 years. And somebody said take the best of each sport and say who the best one of all three is. I still think it's Paul Skeens. Sure, Wembanyama is great. And what's the one guy who plays for the Sharks, the San Jose Sharks? Maresi Massini. I can't remember his name, but maybe it's just because I'm not too knowledgeable about hockey. But I still think Skeens has had a better career so far than Wembanyama. I'm sorry. That's again maybe I'm biased as a baseball fan, but that's my thing.
Yeah, it's crazy that going to the NHL playoffs. I think Ovechkin is still playing right for Washington. It's insane. That guy.
He said just yesterday he doesn't think this upcoming. They were talking about it being his last.
He's still
home
play?
game. He's still gonna.
That's insane, man. Like he's already graying like crazy, and he's still on the ice.
He's been in the league since 2004, if I remember correctly.
My goodness, yeah.
He was drafted. He was drafted by the Capitals at age when he just turned 18.
I'm happy for him though, like and for the city. I mean. I hope that the Capitals, obviously I'm a Avs fan, obviously. I mean, I have the jersey up right now, but I kind of hope Ovechkin wins one more before he retires. It'd be kind of cool to see the Capitals win one.
Well, I will never forget, of course, in his younger days, he was a party phenom. And then I will never forget when he won the cup, he did a keg stand on the cup.
Shout out to all those Avs fans out there who remembers, and you might remember, Tom, when the Avalanche bent their trophy when they were taking the team picture. Oh my goodness. I was watching that. I'm like, what are we doing? Oh man. But hopefully the Avs guys can win another Stanley Cup this year. We're going to do it. Just hopefully we don't have to play the Dallas Stars again in the playoffs. But it's looking likely that we'll probably play the Sharks. Again, I think the Avs are playing tonight. I think the game might have already wrapped up. I need to check on that. But we'll probably be playing the Sharks in the first round. And the Sharks are actually a pretty dangerous team. They, definitely not a team you want to sleep on. But I still think the Avs can go deep. As long as we don't face the Stars, we'll be fine. But anyways.
We'll see how it lines up.
Yeah. Again, playoffs are starting for the NHL, NBA. It's a good time for sports. But ultimately, the thing we can take away from tonight, Tom, our Rockies won 3-2. Had good vibes heading into our next pod, which will be next week. We'll be talking about the Dodgers series, and then we're playing the Padres again, right? I think.
Yep, it's a 7-game homestand.
It's gonna be a little bit of a juggernaut series at Coors Field, but I am looking forward to Friday, which is tomorrow. The Rockies will be wearing their City Connects for the first time this year. So stay tuned to our socials. We'll have a cool social media graphic tomorrow. So
you've got the hat going.
And I got that going. I got this at Coors Field. It's one of the cooler hats I have. I love it already. And make sure you wear your City Connect gear tomorrow, or if you're going to the ballpark while you're there, I'll be there. Actually, I'll be going to the game on Monday with my coworkers. That'll be a lot of fun. I'll probably be wearing my City Connect jersey because I think I got that jersey last year at the stadium. I just didn't wear it. I think I'm going to wear it on Monday, and I think the weather on Monday might be good. Hopefully it doesn't rain because we're supposed to get some rain/snow tomorrow. But hopefully we get good weather for later in the series and next week. So again, if you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, feel free to do so, especially if you're brand new. If you've been here for a while but still haven't subscribed yet, we'd still love to have you on a part of the Rockies Now community. Feel free to follow us also over at EPS at Elevated Pulse Sports, where we are growing our Denver sports community together. We just started our Broncos Zone podcast a few weeks ago, just started our Eyes on Avs podcast yesterday. So we're trying to put that together as well. But anyway, guys, we're going to wrap that up. Hope you guys have a good night. Again, stay tuned to our socials for all things Rockies, game day, highlights, final scores, stuff like that. And just stay tuned to your Rockies content. So again, we're going to say goodnight on behalf of myself, Tom, Chris, and Sarah. Thank you for watching this edition of the Rockies Now podcast. And as always, go Rockies.